Hello there, how are you doing? My name is Daniela. You can call me Dani. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. As long as it's okay, I don't have any problem. Today's video title, of course, started kit for beginners. So I've watched several videos lately of other YouTubers that start showing you 100 things, but they always forget one stuff: your budget. And you don't need to have all that when you start makeup. You need to have things probably that you can use as multitaskers, but basically you don't need 100 items or 1,000 items. And what about the space you have for the makeup? And to be fairly honest, even this is a makeup channel, makeup is not an essential item, so you can live without it. But our self-esteem could be boosted a little bit with makeup, and we can look, like I always say, a little bit more decent or more decent if we wear makeup, but not like you need or you have to wear makeup. So I will show you a couple of items and I will put it on my face, and I might say things or some shortcuts that you can attempt to if your budget is way more limited that I'm showing you. I'll show you a couple of items. First of all, I always start with my eyes. So I will start with my eyes, but I always go like eyes, face, then the eyes again, and then the lips. That is my routine. There are some things here that I cannot do because I don't have things for my eyes, actually. One item that I am not telling you to have in your starter kit is an eyeshadow palette. You don't need an eyeshadow palette. So first of all, I made this video in Spanish and I used this foundation, and this foundation was the foundation, concealer, and the powder. Just in this foundation. But because probably in your country have a little bit more access to items and it won't be as expensive as it is here, like I said, if you really limited in budget, you can use this and let it set, and it will set like powder, so you don't need to set this foundation. There will be some places on your face that it will crease a little bit, but for someone that starts, one pump will be enough for the full face, even going through the neck. The only thing with this is it sets fast, so you need to get pieces of your face at a time. But with one pump will be great, and this will last you around 4 months, using it one pump at a time. Another thing that you can use 1 or 2 pumps, this is this foundation. I like this one, but I like the one that is True Match a little bit better because it's more skin-like the other one, but I have this one at hand and I will apply it all over my face. I left the sponge out. I am not suggesting you any cream, any skincare. You can go with a nice moisturizer, a cheap moisturizer. Probably you can get a Neutrogena one. You don't need 100 of them for the eyes or for this part of the face, this other part of the face, another one. You don't need much. I have one that is made here, that is cheap. It's a lab that makes it, that I use, but Neutrogena it has a good moisturizers, so you can get those. I will get 2. Well, if it's cooperating, that pump is horrible. So 2 pumps. What you're going to do is you can do your face with your hands, or you can use a sponge. And the applicators should be considering part of the purchase, you know. This one won't, I'm trying to now get this part because it was a little bit nasty. I'm trying to go around it. There are 2 pumps on my face. I will clean this. This is kind of nasty. It was, when you don't use the foundation a long time, because you're trying new foundations, sometimes the tip gets clogged a bit. So yeah, well, that is the foundation. I will smooth out with my hands, and then I will show you how to do it with your hands. This could be because you not have any applicator, so this is the same thing that you can do with the other foundation, but place by place. Something that you can do if you feel that the foundation, that's the one that I recommend, but you can get the one that you like. If you want something that will last you a bit more, go for a full coverage and get a small amount on your face. You can mix it with the moisturizer. You can put this like a lotion, but once it's spread out, or you need to start kind of blending in the skin, like if you were mimicking a bouncing effect like you will do with a sponge. So you're not wasting actually product in this way. The sponges will eat or will absorb some product, but as you can see, it's almost cancel out everything. If you feel comfortable enough and you say, no, I don't need any concealer, you can skip that step. If you cannot have money for the concealer, because this foundation you might set it if you're a little bit oily skin. If you're normal skin, maybe you can get away with that and don't set it. So also powder could be optional. I haven't tried this foundation without a powder because I'm kind of leaning towards oily skin. I'm normal to oily, not super oily, but once it's like this, as you can see, not any streak mark. My rosacea or redness is covered. My freckles some are showing through, so the skin tone is even out. Maybe this part is a little bit weird. If the foundation is not your shade, that will be a little bit tough to find first, and you need to drag the foundation to your neck. Try to not be buying any color because you don't know. Try to match your skin with, as you can see, my face is a little bit darker. This foundation is a tiny bit darker for me, but it's the lightest one that L'Oreal brought for that one. I'm asking them for bring more shades to Argentina, because the one that I use is 1N in the True Match, and I really like the shade match. Although I can go a shade lighter than that for a 0.5N, but here is not found. So the next step is, because I also want to recommend you to have options if you need a concealer because you have dark circles, is this foundation. Don't panic with the applicator because this is supposed to be antibacterial material, so it's not like it will get bacteria. And you're supposed to apply makeup with your face clean. So yeah, you don't need to wash it, you don't need to clean it. But if you don't like the idea of the sponge, you can take off the sponge and use it as a concealer. You don't need much. You don't need much at all. Those people that make the triangle and start twisting this and getting a lot of product are wasting product. That concealer, if well used, it will last you a long time. Like the foundation, if you use 1 pump, 4 months. So now that that is done, I will recommend this powder. That is Rimmel Matte Perfection. That's another foundation that is nice. The Matte Perfection by Rimmel is very nice. Here they don't bring shades, lighter shades. They bring and they stop bringing more shades. They start bringing less shades actually. What you're gonna do is now you need. This is the first applicator that you need. Is something for the powder. So of the excess, I will set the foundation. If you use a concealer, you should set. You don't need to bake. You need to set. I need a tiny bit more. You need tiny amount. Basically what I do is I just a little bit deep like this and then tap all the excess, and I will get this powder. Also will last you around the same amount, 4 months, if well used. You don't need to abuse of the powder. If the powder will be, the holes are big, so you don't need actually to get all the sticker, all the stopper. It's a piece of plastic that seals, and then you can put back just a sticker thing. You don't need to just peel all that out. You need to, you can save some. I think I have. No, I haven't in this one, but I have in another one. So you are now wasting a lot of product. Well, now that the face is set, I will go to complete my face, and this is another brush that you might use. Here is the thing. I said that I like things that are multitaskers. Some of us, me included, like blush. Some, that is not me, I am not included, like bronzer. So if you like blush, maybe now is the time that you have some sort of a palette, or if you see that the palette is too expensive, if you want to invest in a blush, a peach tone blush, I found it that is flattering to any skin tone. So that you cannot go wrong with something that is orangey in tone. So I choose this one because it has a coral, a pink, and a little bit more berry tone, a little bit darker. The three, I can use the three of them. This one is a little bit streaky, but it is too potent that I need to use a tiny bit. It's not the streaky, the formula is the application. For me, it's a little bit strange. And it has a highlighter. The highlighter is not something that you need to buy right away. And this is the same concept, but this has these two. The bronzers is a little bit more cool toned, a little bit more warm toned. This is a semi bronzer that is a little bit shinier, and this is a highlighter. So if you want to use a palette like this also can function as an eyeshadow basic look. So what I'm going to do, because in the other one I use this palette, this blush palette, I will leave it aside and I will put this as a blush, and I will use this as an eyeshadow palette, and I want to use this as the highlighter. But that's what I wanted to do. But what if you just only get one item? You can also get one single bronzer. So what I'm going to do is I will use this this bronzer, this one, as a blush, and I will put the same as the eyeshadow, because with bronzer you can have a little bit more of a multitasker. You can do the same thing with the blush. You can put it in your eyes, but just to change a little bit, just a tiny bit more for what, oh, this is the other one. There we go. I don't know if you can see there that I'm getting some color. So that is 2 items already, 2 applicators that you need. You don't need more than 2. You can choose between what is your preference, if you want a bronzer or if you want a blush. A bronzer, you can also have the bronzer thing. Bronzer is no contour. You don't need to contour your face. The first try, this is the base. This is the started kit. This is the first step in makeup. If you need to get makeup because you're just starting with makeup, or you need to rebuild your collection because of whatever the reason is, yeah. So I use that as the blush, and now it will be a 3rd applicator if you want to I want to see which. If you want to use this as an eyeshadow palette, you need a blender. So I will pick the same shade, because to be fairly honest, if you just buy one item, you will just have one shade. So, and you can go here like this, bring it a tiny bit to the center, fade it. I don't have a mirror in hand. It has no mirror, so I don't know what I'm doing. Just looking at the camera's screen. As you can see, this is a more orangey brown color. And what I'm doing is I am not bringing it all the way in. I just only blend. With the excess I get there. I'm not going to use the highlighter. I just only wanted to show you something that I didn't do in the last one with the blush. I think that a palette like this, it could be great for the eyes too, because of the cool tone of the things. They are kind of more neutral than something that we color that is this kind of blush. You can have both, yes, perfectly fine if you have the budget for it. Now is the time for the eyes. I have now 2 recommendations. I need to use a waterproof mascara. This is an Essence mascara, it's amazing. And this is a washable mascara if you don't want something that you want to have it on the face and be a pain in the back to remove. You have this one from Essence as well. These two are very great. So I'm going to, and this one in particular looks a little bit more natural than the Lash Princess effect. So I will apply this one just to color a little bit the lashes. A trick that I didn't tell you with the foundation, and you can put some mascara at the bottom lash, is to leave a little bit of foundation in a pot, in a small pot, and let it dry for a couple of hours actually, and then just twist the lid again, or leave it on a plate for a couple of minutes before application. It will get a little bit thicker, and you can use it as a better concealer if you want, if you're very limited in budget. And now the last item, lipstick. You can go for I just pick any balm that is has some colors or some shine. I can show you. This is the burgundy. This is the burgundy one. I got a little bit out of the lips. Amazing. This is the just to have something like it's hydrating, and you need to reapply a couple of times, but NIVEA is very, very cheap. Or if you just mess with your lips like me, I eat and all the lipstick are traveling everywhere on my face. I touch my face all the time, so I prefer going with something. I show you the shade because it's the shade that I had at hand. I have the other shade somewhere else. That is the one that is called nude. I have here the one that is called Bordeaux. So, and I like this kind of concepts of lipstick that is a liquid lipstick. I recommend this one. By L'Oreal is the chocolate liquid lipstick in the shade Dose of Cocoa. You have this one. You have also the ones that are from Maybelline in the Super Stay Matte Ink line. They're amazing. I made the video. I made a video of the One Dip challenge with one of them, with the blue one, with Explorer. And what I think that the first thing that you need to have in a kit is a nude lipstick, something that you might use all of the time. This particular one will last you for 2 years. This tube will last you for around 2 years, a year, 2 years time. When you need to toss it is when you start seeing that the application is not the same, the smell is different. I have one that is in my project pan. The smell is still good, but it's not nice in application, and it's weird at how it is. It's gone throughout the day. On the lips it sits weird, so it's time to go. The mascaras, we have a problem with the mascaras. The mascaras, even if you have some products left, daily use, you need to toss them from 3 months to 6 months, no more than 6 months in your collection. If you have some problem in your eye and you put the mascara, why are you doing that? Because the mascara will get the bacteria that is causing you the problem, and then when you reapply the mascara, once the problem is solved, you will get it back. So you need to toss it if you're wearing it with some issue in your eyes. So setting spray, you don't need a setting spray at first. You can, when I started with the makeup, I did something that you shouldn't do, but at least it was something, so I can have that part in the routine. Because here in Argentina, setting sprays were non-existent. Now that I do is you don't have to use alcohol, but I make a mixture of a little bit of alcohol, water, and glycerin. I buy glycerin in the same place that I bought the cream, is the Lab. I bought this glycerin, it's just a couple of drops, they will last you for a long time. So you need to mix that and spray it. The glycerin will give you that dewiness on the skin, but if you can have access to some setting sprays, if you want to incorporate that to the routine, just because you feel like the makeup, it looks makeup and you don't want to, you can add a setting spray. I've heard that Wet n Wild, if you have that, or Elf, makes good quality setting sprays, but they are not fine Argentina. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you the next time.